I still find it insane that Grand Theft Auto 3 came out all the way back in 2001. GTA 3 pioneered open world games at the time, spawning a new wave of games within the genre, both in Rockstar's lineup and other takes inspired by the formula as well. But something about GTA 3 makes it still hold up, with huge mods still being developed for it to this day. Whether it's the vibes of the city, its sheer simplistic gameplay, or the wonders of what could have been beyond those hills. Trying to get out of these maps is always fun to do once you've completed everything, but these tunnels always gave a sense of something more, with LCS giving us a tease at an Upstate Liberty. But they never really went anywhere with this, as the series shortly after LCS did a whole new take on Liberty City. But early development documents describe more parts of the city that were provided in the base game, with many of them being cut due to console limitations at the time. But modders, doing what they do best, have been cooking up an expansion to the city for over 12 years during the dev's free time by a single developer named Addy or AddisPL, with the help of a few other devs from the community to expand the state of Liberty and fill in the gaps left behind from those old dev documents. It's time we finally take a tour of GTA 3 Upstate Liberty. We'll be taking our first stop at the Cochrane Dam in Shoreside Vale, a location once showing vast open hills beyond the lake, now dawns a whole new view to the entirely new neighborhood somewhat connected to Shoreside through a short drive through the West Tunnel, which also connects to the east side entrance to Upstate just like in LCS. But a short bit out of the tunnel, you can catch a view of the Love Estates to the west, with a freeway heading northbound that'll take you to the town of Baxter. But for now, let's cut west and take a look at the Love Estates, otherwise known as Swanksville. A rich, upper-class neighborhood likely based on the mansions district outlined in the development documents. This upper-class area is full of swanky neighboring mansions, with some even sporting some interesting yard art, like some big money sign bushes, intricate rock designs, and some more intriguing yard art designs. But one of the more interesting parts of the estates is the country club located at the top of the hill, called the 69 Club, likely based on the Cut Country Club and golf course talked about yet again in the dev docs. Seeing this area fully fleshed out, complete with a practice area aimed out towards the lake, shows how little the rich care while their balls get sunk into the city's dam water, but gives a nice view of the city below, with the lake leading out to a river to the north that borders the freeway leading north, which you can see from the opposite side of the estates, as well as Cedar Ridge and the Observatory to the east. Which, speaking of, let's head that way and check out the area. Cedar Ridge is Upstate Liberty's national park, housing a ton of winding roads into the deep wilderness, which we'll come back to in a later section, as well as a tall mountain overlooking both Shoreside Vale and the rest of Upstate Liberty. In a way, acting as Liberty City's own Mount Chiliad, with twisting paths that lead up the mountain in different areas, all leading to huts, turnoffs, and eventually the observatory at the top, which you can fully explore, and has a neighboring monitoring station. This observatory used to be something just out of reach in the original map, but is now a fully explorable area, complete with a lookout point with on-site telescopes to view Liberty City below. Unfortunately, we can't use any of these telescopes, but a sniper rifle will always suffice. And on the west side of the mountain, on the steepest ridge, is the Little Swiss Resort. Neighboring the Love Estates across the pond, the Little Swiss Resort is a calm and endearing place to rest, away from all the crime and restlessness of the city below, with huts lined all along a path and a huge resort building looming just above, with hiking paths that lead to the observatory or the rest of the Cedar Reserve to the north. Speaking of the north, let's finally head down to the rest of the Western Freeway and see the neighboring town of Baxter, a small suburban town providing a variety of shops and houses here in the sticks, with each of the houses uniquely designed from one another, which is a trend that stretches across Upstate's suburban areas. There's not much to the town of Baxter, except for a few shops on the south side, as well as the Happy Blimp Shop, a chain of food joints dotted all across the map, and also found in Carcer City, which we explored in my previous tour video. However, the neighboring countryside and tunnel leading out of the state of Liberty to the west is a nice touch, showing that the state is still landlocked despite this being a whole new area to explore. Moving to the east out of Baxter, you can explore a bit of the countryside bordering between Baxter and the neighboring town of Warsaw, and this also housing the Cedar Reserve that we mentioned earlier, with this area having a variety of fauna to get lost in, with a few great lookout spots in different areas, winding country roads, and enough vibes to take a break from the beat of the towns within the area. But don't venture out too far into the forest, or you might end up in some areas that don't quite take kindly to unwelcome guests. Heading more inland to the east, let's check out the town of Warsaw, an industrial town within the area, housing a variety of suburban homes, as well as a couple industrial buildings in the center of town, like the W. Blood Butchery, sitting right next to the New Chem chemical plant. Having these two types of factories so close together probably isn't the best idea, but such is life in higher capitalist America. Thankfully, there's the neighboring Wyckoff Memorial Hospital, which likely sees a lot of action from any accidents at the plants nearby. And there's even a little shopping district at the edge of town, complete with a variety of shops donning unique logos for each one, as well as Autos Used Autos, a second-hand car dealer, which also happened to be a location that was cut from the third island in the base game, outfitted with a pay and spray right next door for a quick getaway. Or you can hide out up in the hills to the north in the Bailey Coal Mines, with a deep, intricate mine shaft that reminded me a bit of Frosted Winter with its version of Upstate Liberty that also housed a mine shaft in the area. Just east of Warsaw is yet another stretch of countryside that you can explore, which you'll first see entering the east side's tunnel from Shoreside. This stretch of countryside houses a ton of farmland within the area to fulfill the entire state with a ton of local produce, and even one of the Amco gas stations located in Upstate, to stop and refill your car before heading into the rest of the area. All of this farmland has a few windy roads throughout, and each plot of land has stunt jumps all throughout to throw your car off and catch some air. As well as Joe's scrapyard just up the hill, which is, well, a scrapyard, akin to the one that you'd find in Portland, except without the car crusher that we're used to. Just a good old-fashioned scrapyard. Which leads us into our next town in Upstate, south of the scrapyard, and east of Warsaw in the countryside, known as Carrington. A little slice of middle-class America with neighborhoods surrounding a variety of shops, from gun stores to food shops like another Happy Blimp or Mr. Fucks. And you can catch some Z's away from home at the local Hotel Riviera. But some of the more notable locations in the region are the graveyard located in the south side of town by the hotel that looms over the rest of the town and gives off heavy Red Dead vibes, as well as Jack's Hut and the park right behind it, giving a nice scenic walk by the city and the freeway just south of town that cuts through the region. From this point, let's head into the city that a lot of us are familiar with, yet we just didn't realize it yet, and head into Gostburg. Taking the freeway just south of Carrington, you'll see the city of Gostburg off in the horizon, a city with towering skyscrapers compared to the rest of the region that houses quite a few districts, all giving off their own unique vibe. We'll first start with the region that you'll first head into if you're coming in from the west, from either the freeway or from Carrington, known as the Industrial Park. This area houses a ton of local and national industries, as well as another skyscraper being built bordering Gostburg Central, showing the ever-growing expansion of this thriving city. Complete with jumps all around this area that can get you stunting across all the rooftops of these different blue-collar businesses. And one of the most fascinating things I discovered in this district, which shows the extent of the detail Addy has put into the map overall, is the Waste Management Company headquarters. I know, a trash company. This company, Green, located here in this district, has all of their dumpsters located across the entire state, and even in the base map of Liberty City. But the headquarters for that entire trash company can be found here in Upstate. And there's even a Supa Save that borders the industrial park, central Gostburg, and Leonard Heights, which acts as this town's very own Costco in a way, complete with a gas station right out front to fill up and head into town or head out into the state. But heading further into town, we'll go into the district known as Central Gostburg, where we'll find large open streets and walkways showing the hustle of the patrons here in town, with a beautiful museum located here, complete with a large memorial statue for the town just out front. With towering skyscrapers throughout this district, like the high-end Skylark Hotel that sits on the edge of Main Street, which is the exact street that we see in the opening of GTA 3. With the Bank of Liberty smack dab in the center of Gostburg, complete with the alleyway located in the back, pretty much reusing and improving the original street we saw in that opening cinematic, while still keeping the original ghost town under the map for those who look for it. But having this location here really fleshes out how this area feels like a genuine extension of the original map. And the rest of Central Gostburg holds some more interesting locations as well, like the various parking garages located underneath buildings all around town, making it easier for people working in the area to park closer to their respective businesses, like with the monumental tower more at the north end of Gostburg, or any of the other businesses on Main Street and the rest of the district. To the north end of Central Gostburg, you'll find yet another block tunnel, with this tunnel leading to yet another location in the GTA universe, Carcer City, which was not only mentioned throughout the mainline series, but is also getting a full fan-made game based around the titular city named GTA Carcer City, which you can see a screenshot of used in this billboard right above the tunnel. And if you want a tour of that city, well, like I said earlier, check out my previous tour video. But right next to this tunnel is a familiar store location you might remember from San Andreas, with Wang Cars, complete with all the high-end vehicles you'd expect from GTA 3 found inside. And it's right next to a few other shops and the Gostburg Police Department. Gostburg also has its own Chinatown district with Little Shanghai. This small enclave with its juxtaposing architecture from the rest of town has many shops and small businesses darted around these deep alleyways, and even has a chain of Mr. Wong's Laundromat from Liberty City located just outside of it. Then we have the eastern edge of the city of Gostburg with the Summerton district, housing a variety of corporations on each of its main roads, with one of them having a huge shopping district located in the center of town, with its design encouraging patrons of the city to get out of their vehicles and walk their way to spending their hard-earned cash. Many of these shops here are available for you to enter, with some actually having some functionality to them, while others house some more interesting finds, like the Twat Internet Cafe located to the edge of the shopping center, with many computers having references to games from around the time of GTA 3's release, like a few playing a game of Counter-Strike, Half-Life, Doom, Warcraft, and a few others you might know from back in the day. There's also the Zaibatsu Corporation's headquarters, located at the other end of this street, a giant mega corporation from GTA 2 that only had its presence felt within GTA 3 by way of being a legit pharmaceutical company. But their headquarters logo gives off the same vibes of its GTA 2 counterpart, which makes me think they might not be as legit as they put themselves off to be. The other main road, however, houses a variety of big corporations that we either didn't see a whole lot of in the base game or were cut for whatever reason, like the Morningstar headquarters, a company we only saw a few references to back in the base game, but is still pretty much unknown for the most part, with a cinema located just across the street from it. So if you ever wanted to catch a movie during a stormy night, this is the place you want to be. And there are many other businesses and their headquarters located on this street from other corporations you might have seen in Liberty City, both big and small. The northmost end of town is the Gostburg Regional Airport, which would be used to fly anywhere domestically in the States, but offers a huge runway for you to mess around on. And yet another spawn location for the dodo. But one of my favorite parts of the airport personally is the Plummet Burger located just outside of it. With its cheeky mascot on top of the building, you know you're in for a good time and a good burger at this place. And the last district we'll check out in Upper Gostburg is Leonard Heights, just south of central Gostburg, the low-income area of Gostburg's main city, with rundown apartment buildings and deep alleyways to get lost in, and even some paint shops nearby. This is a place that we can easily lose our tail in if the heat gets turned up too high while running around town, and would likely be an area we'd meet some sketchy characters. Leonard Heights also borders the Old Town section of Gostburg, which is where the town originally started, with old business buildings that have now been renovated to provide apartments in the area just outside of the city and across the main freeway. But the final district of Gostburg we'll be taking a look at is the residential district known as Cedarwood Hills, a vast neighborhood also sporting unique housing much like the rest of the state, and also has a huge skate park located here as well, which was also a cut location found in the old dev docs for the game. It's too bad we can't actually skate here though, as this seems like a pretty good spot that Claude could have been shredding up. But that's not all the suburbs are hiding, as just down the hill to the west is a huge dirt track we can go mess around with many different pathways to take that all collide back to the center and back out again. With a huge viewing area located on the cliffside to the west, this area is a ton of fun to mess around in and would have made for great stunt videos back in the day when those were popping off. But for now, this is a really good place to end your tour off whenever you're done driving around the rest of the state. Well, hold on, there's one last location, a bit of a secret one, located just off of the cliffside of this dirt track and the suburbs above it. A pathway to this can be found if you look hard enough, that once taken will bring you to this hideaway from the city. The lone hut with a bit of farming plot outside. But the real fun part is if you follow the power line in the back that shows you the real farm inside of this cave, growing a little bit of the devil's lettuce for those who are willing to buy within Upstate. After 12 long years of development, Upstate Liberty was well worth the wait. With each and every part of this upper area of Liberty sporting rich detail, you can tell how much care and attention went into every part of each new town, while keeping it grounded and connected to the original game in interesting ways. While there are no missions to be played here in Upstate, you can use many of the shops available here and do any of the vehicle side missions from the base game like taxi, paramedic, firefighting, and vigilante. You can also find health, armor, and weapon pickups here in hidden areas, and there's even 100 more hidden packages available in Upstate to find, for even more reasons to explore the rest of the state. Upstate Liberty also serves as a base for future mod projects, with there already being an update to Silent Patch to match with the new additions made from this new area. And for those wondering if this map will be compatible with LCO1, well, Addis happens to be one of the developers and lead programmers on the LCO1 team, meaning that this map won't exactly ship with LCO1, but will be made compatible with the project, so players can roam around Upstate with a whole new look. It would be dope to see it fully implemented with some missions taking place here, but that could deviate too far from the original design that GTA 3 shipped with. But who knows? It may not be compatible right away, but Addis does plan on making a compatible version when LCO1 drops, so stay tuned for that. The fact that it will be made compatible with it at all will be a miracle. And lastly, I wanted to give Addy and the rest of the devs that contributed to this project overall a huge thank you to this incredible map. Like Sergio for the branding for the businesses across the state, Deadpool MKD, DK Lewin, Silent, and the many others who've contributed to make this incredible map expansion for GTA 3. Upstate Liberty feels like a genuine, official map expansion, with so many small details that make exploring GTA 3 State of Liberty feel incredibly unique, and very different from other mods that I've played. If there were any small details I might have missed in this tour, drop them down in the comments, so that way other players can discover them as they visit Upstate. But if you haven't had a chance to check it out yet, download GTA 3, downgrade your exe file, and get Upstate Liberty installed, and have a nice trip through the mountains that we were locked away behind for so long in Upstate Liberty. Thank you so much for giving this video a watch. Have you personally checked out Upstate Liberty yet? And if so, what was your favorite location? Let me know down in the comments. And if you liked the video at all, drop a like and hype the video up, and subscribe. And if you want to go further with supporting the channel, consider becoming a member or joining my Patreon to support me for more videos like this in the future, and get some extra BladeO content. Or even watch videos early, like Kund C got to do, or is it Sun C? Anyway, thank you for subscribing to my Patreon, I truly appreciate it. That is all from me this week, and I thank you all again so much for watching. I'll see you all next time. Stay safe out there. BladeO out.